And ladies and gentlemen, you recognize the music, you recognize the video if you're watching at Newsmax.com, and certainly you recognize the name Dee Snider. I can't believe, Dee, and welcome to the show. 1982 is when you kicked off with Twisted Sister, and now we fast forward all these years later, and tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific time, season number 2 of Holliston, and you and your character Lance Rocket.
Yeah, man. You know what? I planned my life up to about 35, and I had and lived happily ever after, which I am. But at the same time, I didn't know all the career changes and choices and opportunities I have. And when I had this chance to be on a sitcom, I thought this would be an awesome experience, and it has been 2 seasons. And I get to play this character who's a parody of all the 80s guys who ever were. And he's the boss of a cable station, but he sings in a tribute band, a Van Halen tribute band, and he very much lives in the 80s, and he walks around wearing spandex and makeup, and his hair's all blown out all the time.
It's right up your alley. Now, this is going to be, we should say, of course, on Fearnet. Tell folks who don't know where they could find Fearnet.
Well, Fearnet, is a horror channel that's available different places throughout. Of course, you go to Fearnet.com, but if you want to subscribe, go to, please call 877-FEAR-247, 877-FEAR-247 to subscribe. But you can see the shows on Fearnet.com. They're available, which is great as well. And Fearnet is a horror channel, but this is original content for this channel, and it does have connection to the horror community in that the 2 lead characters are struggling on the show, are struggling horror movie directors. But it's really a sitcom that anybody can watch. Is in a traditional format of Friends. It's about relationships and dealing with life's ups and downs, just in a little bit of a unique way. And
you talk about your life after 35. I mean, you've done everything. You've done TV, you've done movies, you've done those horror movies, you've done radio. So you've done it all. And you know what? You know what's impressed me most about your life is that you and Suzette are approaching your 32nd wedding anniversary in October. You've been together since '81, which was actually before the launch of Twisted Sister. To what do you attribute that longevity and, of course, the four wonderful kids?
Well, you know what? Thanks for acknowledging that, because I'm particularly proud of that relationship and my my family. You know what? It's probably one of the wise choices I made. I made a lot of mistakes in my life, but one I did not make was I recognized that I was meeting somebody who loved me for who I was when I had nothing, and that if you hang on to someone like that and you don't screw up, they'll be with you through it all. And I've been through career ups and career downs, and never for a moment did I think that Suzette might leave me. She's just been there with me in the trenches, and she's incredible. And I know you'll enjoy this, your show. Newsmax will enjoy this. I just want to point out, in 1985, I was under attack by the PMRC, and I went to Washington, where Tipper and Al Gore took me to task and questioned my beliefs, questioned everything about me. Cut to 30 years later, I'm still married. None of my kids have been busted for possession. Can Al and Tipper say the same thing? Oh, no, they can't. Oh!
I love that. No, that's a great point. And look, 30 years of marriage, I mean, is rarer and rarer today. But of course, in your profession, it's practically unheard of. That's why I bring it up. And I also bring it up because you talk about the fact that you were born and raised a Christian, and you are unabashedly still a proud Christian who adheres to those principles. Let's talk a little politics here. I mean, Catholic bashing specifically is in vogue. It's almost mandated by so-called comedians and mainstream media. They bash the Pope, they bash the church, whatever chance they get. But Christianity is under attack as well, and all over the world, it's under attack where Christians are getting killed, put in jail, churches are being burned, and the world is silent.
You know what? Religious persecution, as I have to say, it's terrible. It's an understatement, but it's been going on with all religions for ages. And I'm a big supporter of all the amendments, first, second, third, all the way down the line. The forefathers didn't give us a Chinese menu; they gave us some rules to live by. And I'm supportive of freedom of religion, all religions. So it's horrible, and Christianity has always been persecuted. My God, since the beginning of time. And you're right; it is often overlooked, while people look at other religions feeling they suffer more. But certainly Christians have done their fair share of suffering.
Now, you watch, I think you're politically savvy. You testified before Congress. You talked about the fact, and I want to ask you about this. You talked about the fact that you voted for Barack Obama in '08 because you didn't like the fact that John McCain, who you admired, didn't acknowledge more of George W. Bush's mistakes. Did you vote for Barack Obama again in 2012?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Given the choices, I think that the system is quite broken right now, which is unfortunate. Although watching the movie Lincoln, it seems like the system's been broken for a long time. I just want to go back to the McCain thing. It wasn't just that he wouldn't acknowledge the mistakes of Bush. That was the least of it. The Palin choice I thought was very weak. One heartbeat away from being president, and we've seen Lyndon Johnson. We've seen people step into the seat, and I just did not feel comfortable with Sarah Palin.
All right, and if you had a chance, if there was another election in November for president, would you vote for Obama again with the scandals and everything you know now?
I'd have to see. I'm not a big. I don't buy into all the scandals. I don't get caught up in all that stuff too much. I mean, it's really the media just blows these things up internationally, not just our media, all over the place. And it's a feeding frenzy on these things, and each side goes after the other side. So, when the left wing screws up, the right pounces. When the right screws up, the left pounces. And everybody, and really there's just so many much more important things. I just wish they could get something done. That to me is the real hard.
Well, we got 10 seconds. What would you like to see them get done if they could do it today?
If they could get it today, I would just like to get them to just straighten out the tax situation. They wonder why it's the way it is. They say it's in favor for the wealthy. Well, that's because it's been manipulated and it's been adjusted. All these breaks have been put in there to help corporate America. I'm more in favor of the little guy. Even though I'm wealthy, I was a little guy once, and I'd like to see it just be a little fairer for the little guy.
All right, listen, if you're ever in the city here, stop on up, give us a call. We'll put you on. I'd love to talk to you more, but we'll watch you tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Fearnet. It's Holliston. It's Dee Snider. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, man. Pleasure talking to you.
Take care. You too. That's Dee Snider.